There's no boy howdy today, lads. Today we have to get a bit more serious. Welcome to War Games on Toast, all of you lovely people. Today is not our usual Wednesday, and actually we missed our last Wednesday, and I'm not even sure this is a Wednesday today when this comes out. That's because some pretty dire things have been going on behind the scenes, and that's entirely down to, well, it's down to me. Before we get into the video proper, I'm not going to plug the Patreon or YouTube members, and this video will not be monetized at all. But I am going to be talking about some pretty heavy things, so take that as a trigger warning of sorts before you continue watching. So what's going on and why am I doing a video like this out of the blue? Well, I have said some pretty heinous things recently publicly that have come back around and bit me on the arse something rotten. Now, I don't want to hide from what I said, and nor do I want people to support the channel without knowing what had transpired, and yeah, it's not pretty. As you can likely tell by the length of this video, there's a lot to unpack here, but in short, we are going to do what is going to be quite possibly the first ever apology video from a Warcry content creator ever, and that's not something I'm proud to be a part of, but it's something I have to accept if we are going to move on. On March the 6th, 2024, I publicly announced that the Gryph-hound, Balthus, was a steaming pile of Dracoline that nobody in their right minds should ever play. Balthus, for those who aren't aware, is what I, at the time, considered to be a complete and total abomination. A despicable amalgamation of stats, points and design. An opulent void where creativity goes to die in the name of some algorithmic overseer that demands we pay through the nose for a half-decent movement characteristic. In my haste, I implied that Balthus just brought nothing but shame, not only to the game, but to everyone who dared play him. I claimed he was inferior to this lass and these doggos from this lad's warband. All the evidence I provided made Balthus out to be as worthless as I claimed him to be, but I was wrong in doing that. Not only did I warp the narrative to suit my anti-Balthus agenda, I ridiculed him during the recording, the editing process for the infamous Not Balthus scene, and even in the title of that video, which I will put on screen now. These actions are not befitting of my character, and it was a complete abuse of power. So here I am, my heart on my sleeve, asking for your forgiveness because Balthus deserves more than I gave him. In fact, Balthus might be the best model, not only in the Order of Azir, but in all of Warcry. Balthus, or Balthic as he should be known as, sports movement 6, toughness 4 and a whopping 8 wounds. With stats like that, he can move around with the speed of a coked up snail, absorb the crushing force of a frustrated wasp, and even take a couple of stings whilst he's at it. But then we get to his outstanding melee profile. Range 1 because Balthus ain't no bitch, with a 4-4-1-4 profile. That is a lot of attacks at a reasonable strength with a solid damage profile. You better believe Balthus likes sushi because he will be crit fishing all day long. And you know what? At 95 points, Balthus is a complete and total steal. If I could take 10 Balthus, 10 Balthai, I would. But Games Workshop knew that that much Balthus would break the game. They had to contain him. They had to limit his power so other players could enjoy the game as well. More importantly, this is a sacrifice Balthus willingly made because Balthus cares about you, not the nebulous audience or the player base. No, he specifically cares about you. I mean, let's compare the mighty Balthus, the indomitable Balthic, to a mere Gryph-hound. The same movement, the same toughness, and oh, what's that? +4 wounds, overcompensation at its worst. Balthus doesn't need the wounds, and then offensively, range 1, pathetic. Clearly, this Gryph-hound has T-Rex arms. 4414, that's fine, I guess, but at 115 points, that's 20 points more than Balthus. 20 whole points more for a model that is objectively worse in every stat. Sure, the Gryph-hound has things like abilities that lets him do more things per turn than Balthus, but again, all of this is overcompensation. Abilities, wounds, all of these things are the tools of a coward and nothing more. The final nail, the securing implement that holds up my stance like an immovable piece of knockoff IKEA furniture, is how your warband reacts to Balthus. They love Balthus. They want to keep Balthus safe, and if Balthus is ever taken down, if Balthus ever dies, your whole warband will rally around their fallen comrade, and they will strike with the force of a hallowed vengeance squad to the face, and whatever struck down the best boy will surely be smote shortly after. So here I am, asking for your forgiveness for my ignorance, my arrogance, and my deception. Balthus should be in every single Order of Azir list, because he is the beating heart that makes that warband function. He is the soul of the Order of Azir. If I was to be so bold, Balthus is the true leader, not Hexbane, not Hanover. It is all Balthus, and it always was. If you'll have me, I would like to earn back your trust and prove that I can once again be somewhere in the top 100 of Warcry content creators from the north of England. But until next time, if there is even to be a next time, lads, ladies, and everyone in between and beyond, ta-ra.